So the Fine Brothers released a video today, and it's an announcement of a new sort of program they're doing called React World. If you're not familiar, the Fine Brothers are very popular YouTubers. They've been around for ages. Ever since I started watching YouTube when I was 10, they were around and popular. And lately, for the past couple of years, they've been very popular primarily for their reaction series, where they have kids react, teens react, and elders react. And, just having these different generations react to various things, social issues, things in pop culture, viral videos. They have YouTubers react. And they've been getting a lot of comments, according to this video, asking them, saying like, hey, you're based out of LA, this is all Americans. We want a more global react. What if we had people from different countries and areas of the world and different cultures reacting to these various things, to these pop culture things, to these social issues, whatever it may be. And it wasn't, they didn't really have a way to do that. It's not cost effective to fly out across the world to film a video or two. I mean, their videos get popular, but not that popular for that to be cost effective and time effective. And same thing goes for like establishing foreign bases. So they found, they came up with a new idea to respond to these requests for more global reaction. It is the System React World. And what they're going to be doing is, if you want, you can sign up and they will license to you their format, their intellectual property of their graphics, their logos, or style of editing. They'll promote you. You get to use their brand names and associate with their series of React. You can associate with their series by making your own video. It's kind of like, it's almost a little bit like a multi-channel network, an MCN. It's also kind of like reminding me a little bit of Joseph Gordon-Levitt's Hit Record series. It's a series where basically him and everyone else makes collaborative art projects, and everyone submits different pieces. And I actually watched a little bit of it on Netflix, Hit Record on TV, originally just on the internet, and then went to TV, and now it's on Netflix. And you can see, is like, you would see a short film, and it'll be like, this was comprised of so and so many submissions. This kind of reminds me of Hit Record, except instead of submitting your work to the Fine Brothers, they license you their sort of intellectual property and stuff, and then you just create it yourself. It's sort of like franchising YouTube content. And I'll get into elaborating that example a little bit later. But there's been a lot of backlash. The video itself, last I checked, has 12,000 likes, but 2,000 dislikes. So the majority opinion at the moment seems to be that this is alright. After all, their fans did ask for something along the lines of this. Not specifically this, but some way for them to accomplish this. And but there is some backlash. I actually woke up this morning, checked Twitter, and saw that one of my favorite YouTubers, Boogie2988, made a video on this, and he did a really good video. And what I'm going to be doing, Boogie sort of explained the situation very nicely, but I'm going to be actually sort of refuting one of the sides of the argument. I'm going to be refuting people who are really upset about this, which is a lot of people. Just after I got done watching Boogie's video, I went back, checked my messages, now that the video is over, and my friend had just linked me a Reddit link from our videos, and it was a post with 5,000 upvotes, and the title was lying. I'm not saying like, oh, I disagree. No, the title is literally lying. It's saying that the Fine Brothers are trying to copyright the genre of reaction videos, which is not the case. The main counter-argument against them, the main complaint, is that the Fine Brothers are copyrighting this genre of video, and the second complaint is that they're copyrighting the word react. The first one just isn't true, and I'll elaborate on it a little bit. The second one is somewhat true. It's a little bit misleading, though, to say they're copyrighting the word react. In a way they are, in a way they're not. And I'll get to that in a moment. So this Reddit post had 5,000 upvotes and a title that just completely misconstrued what was happening. It just lied. And I'm sure most people who saw the post didn't even watch the video, especially since there's only 2,000 dislikes, yet 5,000 upvotes for something dissing the video. Then the Fine Brothers saw this and they responded. They made a big long post. They have a bunch of posts. And they're taking questions, except they're being downvoted into oblivion. Their initial post has 3 3,000 downvotes. I've never seen something with 3,000 downvotes. That is the most downvoted comment in Reddit history, probably. I've never seen something with that many downvotes. So, on this Reddit article, they're purposely lying about what's happening. This guy just, lying. It's not what's happening. They're not copyrighting a genre of videos. You can't do that. That's not what they're doing. Nor anywhere are they implying that's what they're doing, etc., etc. That's just wrong. And then secondly, when the Fine Brothers respond, that nobody wants to hear it. They're downvoted, so that nobody will actually see their comment. 3,000 downvotes. So so what are these concerns? So people think that they're copywriting the entire genre of reaction videos, and there's lots of types of reaction videos. This is kind of a reaction video. Boogie's video is kind of a reaction video. Two of my favorite YouTubers as of late are Leafy and Pyrocynical. They're kind of reaction videos. God forbid, there's Jinx, another type of reaction video, although really the bottom rung of reaction videos. But anyone who has watched one of the Fine Brothers reaction videos, though, knows that they have a very distinct style of reaction video. They have a very distinct style, and it all goes with a certain generation or group of people reacting to a video. YouTubers, teens, elders, kids. And they have very unique styles, unique forms of editing, unique sets, just ways they do this, ways they do with graphics, brands, etc. And this format is what they've copyrighted. This format is what they've trademarked. This format of making reaction videos in this specific way, not reaction videos as a genre. So draw a parable, and credit to Boogie for bringing this up. This is his example, or at least that's where I heard it first. I don't know if he's the first to come up with it. There's the show America's Got Talent, and they have licensed that show to Britain for a show titled Britain's Got Talent. And I think there's also like an Australia's Got Talent. You can do any number of countries or regions with Got Talent. And however, America's Got Talent, by licensing out to Britain's Got Talent, by licensing out their format, their intellectual property, they're not copywriting talent shows. They're not copywriting the word talent. They're not doing that. You can't do that, relatively speaking. I'll get into copyrighting words in a moment, as again, it's a little bit of a tricky one, but as far as copyrighting this genre, that's not what they're doing. Just as with America's Got Talent, by creating a licensing system for shows like Britain's Got Talent, that doesn't mean they instantly own the entire premise of talent shows. That's not the case. Another example is, to get into words, machinima. Machinima, most people know as a brand, but machinima is actually a word that predated the brand, and it means machine-made cinema, and that basically means making films or skits in game engines. You know, you're instead of using a camera, you're using a machine, you're using a game engine. That's a machinima, machine-based cinema. And when this style of video became more popular, then came along the company Machinima. But Machinima, it's weird to say that so many times, I'm sorry. But Machinima, despite all their well-known greed and corruption, they don't go around striking down every video that has the word Machinima. And nor will the Fine Brothers, as far as we know, nothing is really implying that this is what they'll do. So nothing, as far as we know, they will not be going around striking down every video that has the word react in it. Why, why is this the case? You know, Machinima has rights to the word Machinima. That's their company name. The Fine Brothers have trademarks for their series React. I mean, their channel is called React. One of their channels, their second channel is called React. Their series is called React, and they have trademarked that, and they're going to be licensing out that trademark. So why wouldn't they be going around striking down these videos? And why theoretically, the only reason they could do it is because of YouTube's broken system. Theoretically, in a normal situation, they wouldn't be allowed to. Why is that the case? Because the thing is, they're copywriting the word in the sense that you can't use it to make it seem like you are a part of Fine Brothers Entertainment. Just as with Machinima, you can make a Machinima, that's a genre of video. But if you make a Machinima but pretend you're a part of Machinima, pretend you're officially Machinima, then there could be a problem there. If Machinima sees that, they would legally be within their rights to strike that down because you're trying to pose as them. But just using the word Machinima is fine. Another example is Apple. Apple's a fruit, dude, but Apple Computers obviously has a trademark on the name Apple. Does that mean nobody can say apples when you're at the grocery store? Can they not sell apples as apples? Otherwise, Apple Computers will come and shut their store down for infringing on copyright? No, of course not. It's an apple. And just like React, that's a commonly used word. It's a bit of a hard thing to completely copyright. So the problem then is the reason they copyrighted Apple is in case anyone is trying to sell a computer as Apple, in case anyone's trying to pretend to be them. That's why it's copyrighted. It's not copyrighted, it's that every time anyone uses the word Apple, they have, power to strike them down. And same goes with React. If someone's using React in a way to emulate the Fine Brothers, then that is wrong. They're trying to pretend they're a part of the Fine Brothers reaction channel when they're not. But if you're just a normal reaction channel and you use the word react or reaction, that's fine. You're not infringing on their copyright by using the word. You're only infringing on it if you're using that trademark in a way to portray that you're a part of them. If you're using the word to portray that you're with them, that you are them, then that it has become their trademark and you're infringing upon it. So hopefully that makes sense. And Boogie said, he's like, look, I've never seen anyone trying to emulate the Fine Brothers. That's true. It's very rare. But there is a very good example that I personally know of. And it is Camo Rovak's Furries React to. That is very clearly designed to be exactly like the Fine Brothers, except with furries. I mean, that's, not to hate on Camo, but that's clearly what he's doing there. I mean, no contest. But you look at like Leafy's videos or Boogie's videos or, as I said before, God forbid, Jinx's videos, they're clearly not trying to be like the Fine Brothers. They're clearly not trying to pretend to emulate them. They're not trying to emulate them or pretend that they are them. So they're fine, even if they use the word react. But Camo Rovak, on the other hand, is clearly trying to emulate them. And what they're saying is, okay, look, here's the licensing system. Now you can be officially a part of us, and we just get a cut of the revenue. If I remember correctly, it is a 70-30 cut, which is not bad. And you may think, well, they're still taking profits from people's hard work. And I have two things to say about that. I brought up franchising earlier. If you don't know what franchising is, this has to do with like stores, like retail stores, whatever it be. So McDonald's doesn't have a copyright on the burger. They don't own the burger itself. They don't have intellectual property over burgers or chicken sandwiches or French fries or selling soda or ice cream or whatever. However, they have a specific recipe they make. They have a specific name they attribute to it. They have a specific type of branding and packaging that goes to it. Their stores look a specific way, inside their specific way, etc., etc., etc. So if there's an entrepreneur out there who's like, hey, I want to go sell hamburgers and fries and stuff, but I want to be a part of this McDonald's stuff. I want to have these recipes and I want to have that brand name recognition. Then you get a franchise. And you still, are an entrepreneur pretty much in the fullest sense still. You still have to do a lot of hard work running your own store, but you are using McDonald's recipes, their intellectual property, their logos, their branding, and you get their corporate promotion. When McDonald's advertises themselves, you are subsequently being advertised. And that is how franchising works, and thusly you give a portion of your profits back to McDonald's corporate. And this is kind of like the online version of franchising. So there's really nothing unreasonable about that unless you wanted the Fine Brothers to release all their hard work, their format that they've developed over years and refined, unless you wanted them to release as Creative Commons. I think it's unreasonable. I think it's not crazy and unethical for them to say they have intellectual property over their style of videos. Not the genre of video, their specific style within this genre. And the other thing is if they were greedy, if they really just did want money and power and to be able to strike down all competition or take their revenues, they could already be doing that. Because the real problem here is not the legal ethics of what they're doing. In a normal situation, nothing they're doing is too crazy. But the problem is this is YouTube, whose copyright system is very broken, which means that if they so choose, they could abuse this power. In a normal situation, this isn't a lot of power. To go back to the America's Got Talent example, they don't have the power to strike down other talent shows. They couldn't, go to the government and be like, hey, they're infringing. I mean, they would be laughed off. Of course they're not. But on YouTube, with the broken system, you could easily get YouTube's broken system to work in your favor. So don't get me wrong, they do have the power to use these trademarks and copyrights on their format for bad purposes. But furthermore, one of the reasons we don't have a reason to suspect they will is because they could already be doing it. They could already, with YouTube's broken system, be going around striking things down. And they haven't done that. As I said, Machinima doesn't even do that. And they're notorious for being really unfair to people, at least their own partners. So the Fine Brothers do have the potential to use this power for bad, but I don't think we have any reason to suspect they will. People are being very reactionary, ironically, and treating them as latent criminals, like this is a very strange episode of Psychopaths, as opposed to, all the normal episodes of Psychopaths. So don't get me wrong, keep an eye on them. Make sure, it's good that the community has told them, hey, we see what you're doing, but you better not misuse this power. It's good for them to be given sort of the stern warning that there will be uproars of backlash if they exploit YouTube's broken system for their own benefit. And they have said over and over again, like, oh, that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. We're not copying the word react. They have copyrighted the word react. So I didn't clarify this before. Technically they have, but again, it's the same way that Apple copyrighted Apple. You can still say the word Apple. You can still sell apples. But as long as you're not doing anything to make it seem like you are Apple computers, to not pretend that you are that brand, then it's fine. And the same goes with them copyrighting the word react. You can use it as long as you're not using it in a way that will make it seem like you are pretending to be a part of the Fine Brothers. So it's good that the community is keeping an eye on them, but I think we really have nothing to worry about. I don't think they're going to be abusing their power, because they could be abusing it already if they so wish. It's good to keep an eye on them and make sure that they don't abuse their power, but I think it's unreasonable to get so upset and up in arms when they haven't even done anything, and instead assuming that they're doing this for the sole purpose of being power hungry and striking down competition and making a profit, when that doesn't make any sense, because they could already be doing that. YouTube's copyright system is so broken, they could easily, now that they have these trademarks and copyrights, or especially now that they have them, they could probably gone away with it prior to now if they really wanted to, but now that they have these, they could easily be going around striking down every reaction video, and YouTube's copyright system, as broken as it is, would, most of the time definitely work in their favor. And then they would either completely squash competition, or they could just take all the revenue from the video. That would be the better one. They could take 100% of the revenue from the video by claiming it. Instead, they're doing this licensing thing where they only get 30% of the revenue, and the creator still gets 70%. Again, it's kind of like franchising a store. Obviously, the person running the store does most of the work, as is the person creating the video in this case, but because of that brand, because of that format, or for, a fast food place, the recipes, etc., they take a cut because you're using their licensed products. So they do have the potential to misuse their power, so keep an eye on them and make sure they don't, and if they do, then if they do anything, then, definitely get in an uproar, because that would be wrong. But come on, guys. There's no real reason to suspect they're going to be douchebags about this. There's no reason to suspect they're going to do any of that. They're basically, what people are saying here is they're basically telling the Fine Brothers, hey, you have zero intellectual property. This series that is very distinct. I don't know if anyone would seriously deny that their style is distinct. People like to pretend it isn't. Like, oh, so you can't use the word react. Oh, so you can't use the word X reacts to Y. Oh, so you can't show multiple people reacting to things and then ask them questions. Those people have to intellectually know that they're being misleading, that's just rhetoric. If you've watched their videos, it's a very distinct style, and, you can do the same sort of thing, but in your own style. As I said, Camo Rovac, that's very clearly meant to be in the Fine Brothers style. Other reaction videos, very clearly in their own style. There's nothing to imply here that they're copywriting the genre of reaction videos, or that they're copywriting the use of the word react in any situation. There's nothing to imply that they're going to abuse this power using YouTube's broken system. So I'm not even, just to clarify, I'm not even like a huge like Fine Brothers fanboy or anything. I see their videos every now and then. I might be subscribed to them. I don't even remember. It's not like I keep up with their videos, so I may or may not be. But just I saw all this and I saw the outrage. You know, I thought it was fine. It wasn't thinking about talking about it, but then I saw that Reddit thing and how people are just seemingly willfully ignorant about what's happening, and just being very reactionary to the reactions of reactioning, whatever. You know, I was just like, I gotta say something about this, because people are being unreasonable. They're taking things way out of context, taking things way too far, and they're not understanding how licensing works and how this isn't some kind of corrupt, you know, overlord who now owns an entire genre of video. So that's about it. Leave your opinions down in the comments below if you want. Definitely implore you to go check out Boogie298's video. He definitely summarizes the fear that people have that they'll abuse the power, and why people are afraid, and why this is scary. But it's a great video. But you know, I think there really isn't anything to worry about. And even Boogie comes to the same conclusion, saying, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I think I'm gonna have to trust the Fine Brothers on this. There's nothing to really lead me to believe they're gonna be douchebags about this. They have the power to be. That is true. They now have the power to do that. But nothing is suggesting that they will. Everything's seeming that they do have goodwill. In the end, I think we're just gonna have to wait it out, see what happens when they roll this out, see if they start striking down videos or not. They probably won't. One example that keeps getting brought up, at least in Reddit, was that they sent a cease and desist letter to some people doing Britain's English or British React to, I think. British React to is what it was called, because they're copying their format. This is one example, one specific thing that's clearly trying to emulate them. They sent a cease and desist letter to, not abusing YouTube's copyright system for their own gain. They sent it through a very respectable legal channel of a cease and desist letter. They have not, however, gone around striking down every reaction video claiming they own the genre. Them sending a cease and desist letter is, you know, exactly in line with what they say they're going to be doing. It's, if you want to use their format, you have to take their licensing, and they'll get a small cut of your profits, and that's it. Otherwise, feel free to do your thing, but if you want to make a reaction video in their format, which nobody should be denying is distinct and unique and their intellectual property, if you want to do that, then here's some licensing. It's not, we're going to strike down everything. It's not, they're not copyrighting this so that they can then abuse their power and strike down everyone. If they were, there'd be no reason for them to make the video announcing it. Really what they're doing is they're responding to their fans' wishes. Their fans asked for this. They asked them to do something like this, and they have. So they have the potential to be bad, but I really doubt they will, guys. So that's about it for this video. And yeah, people love getting mad about things.